here in Miami Beach. The weather is beautiful. So are the palm trees. And rising like a phoenix out of a neighborhood in Miami, it's Marlins Park. And it is time for baseball. As Pix 11 presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, it's the New York Yankees against the Miami Marlins in the first of two from Marlins Park here in Miami, Florida. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees snapped a 3-game losing streak yesterday in Baltimore with a 5-3 victory. They got some clutch hits, and also the bullpen stepped up and did its job with 10 big outs. Yeah, big outs, Michael. And I'll tell you what, Chasen Shreve did a nice job in relief of Adam Warren at inning and a third. You talk about coming in the lefty-righty matchup. We're going to be talking about this. The Yankees having the three left-handers, and then Justin Wilson blowing them away. 2 innings, the 3 strikeouts, dominating. Good fastball slider. And then what can you say about Dellin Betances? 33 innings in a third in this year, 55 strikeouts. That was his 3rd save of the year. Very impressive, the Yankee bullpen. Well, this might be the way the Yankees get those final outs. Chasen Shreve got the win with an inning and a third. Justin Wilson did the heavy lifting, and then Dellin Betances with an inning of scoreless ball to pick up the save. Now it's on to Miami, and they're going to send Ichiro and Tanaka out to the mound. They're going to hope, obviously, that they don't have to use much of a bullpen. And if he pitches the way he's pitched the first 2 games off the DL, they don't have much to worry about. He's looked great. I'll tell you what, watching Ichiro Tanaka, it's all been about, his health and then coming back from the DL. What's his velocity going to be like? I'll tell you what, watching him in Seattle and then the Nationals, 7 innings here, the 3 hits, you see, 1 earned run and no walks and 9 strikeouts. You talk about Ichiro Tanaka, we got to talk about what is the separation. He's showing velocity, touching mid-90s. He's got the slider and the split. Very dominating. The 6 strikeouts here against the Nationals. Again, 7 innings, 5 hits. Very impressive, pitching like an ace. He's going to have to deal with one of the majors' best hitters, the youngster, Giancarlo Stanton, leading the majors in home runs. But when we come back, Meredith Barakovitz breaks down some interesting numbers on the young slugger. That's next on Pix 11.
Beautiful Miami for Yankees baseball on Pix 11. Hi, I'm Meredith Barakovitz coming to you from the Marlins dugout. The Marlins right now possess one of the best young hitters in all of Major League Baseball in Giancarlo Stanton, and I think it's pretty fair to call him the king of South Beach after the monstrous 13-year, $325 million deal he signed this past offseason. So far, he has been worth every penny of that contract. He has a great start to the season, and if you take a look, he occupies spots 1, 4, and 5 on the longest home run list this season, with only Jock Peterson and A-Rod able to crack the top 5. Not to mention, since his first full season in 2011, only Miguel Cabrera has hit more home runs than Stanton. And you get the sense the pace that he's on right now, once he passes Cabrera, he is never going to look back. So Masahiro Tanaka will certainly have his work cut out for him this evening. Plenty more to come here with Michael Kay and Al Leiter coming back next with lineups, first pitch baseball right here on Pix 11.
Connection to the road in the new Sonata. Visit your Hyundai dealer today. By Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. By the first ever Lexus NX Turbo, go beyond utility. By Royal Caribbean, the only way to Caribbean is with Royal Caribbean. By Six Flags, save big on Six Flags Great Adventure tickets at sixflags.com. And by Honda, start something special with a great deal on a Honda now at your Honda dealer. Well, we are here in Miami, and the roof is closed at Marlins Park, and it usually is hot, humid day, but a typical Florida day nonetheless. They expect a big crowd here at the ballpark for the Yankees against the Marlins, and it's been a disappointing start for the Marlins. They made great changes. They signed Stanton to that big money contract, Al. They changed managers, bringing in a real neophyte when it comes to a field manager, and Dan Jennings, their GM. And right now, they're 7 games off the pace in the National League East.
But even with that said, Michael, and I agree with everything you said, this has been a disappointing start to this season. But if you look at the records and where the standings are, they're 10 games under 500, the Miami Marlins, and they're 7 games back.
It's doable.
And just, we'll talk about it this evening as this game goes on in the series. But talking to that man there, Dan Jennings, who was the architect of the moves, the big moves that were made to improve this team, and now here he is in the bench as the manager, and he never coached, never managed in the minor leagues. The last time he coached anything was high school in Alabama back in the late 80s.
And he replaced the fired Mike Redmond. Well, the Marlins have taken the field, and Tom Kohler will take his warm-up tosses, and we'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you, as always, by Land Rover, above and beyond. The left fielder is Brett Gardner. He'll lead off, batting second and playing third base, Chase Headley. Catching and hitting third, Brian McCann. The cleanup hitter, first baseman Mark Teixeira. In right field, Garrett Jones will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing center field, Stephen Drew. D.D. Gregorius will play shortstop. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing center field, the rookie Mason Williams. And since it's a National League ballpark, there's no DH, so the pitcher, Masahiro Tanaka, will bat ninth.
And on the mound, Tom Kohler, big right-hander. 28 years old, 18th round draft pick for the Marlins. Hard thrower, over the top, big curveball, little command issue. 72 innings, 28 walks. good stuff. He's kind of Jekyll and Hyde, hot and cold type year so far. Let's take a look at the pitcher scout report. Brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Miami, nice. How about this, Michael? He has the 4th lowest ERA in the National League. When I see a disparity in ERA, just say it really perks my interest. He's got a 1.57 at home, 207 batting average. This is a great place to pitch. It's hard to hit it out of here unless you're Giancarlo Stanton. On the road, a 6.45. It's not even close. Teams figure him out. This year, 165 batting average against through the first time. It goes up. That's the whole premise about starting pitching. Goes up to 319 batting average. In New York, born in the Bronx, Michael K. Attended New Rochelle High School, went to Stony Brook University, and was a big Yankee fan growing up. And here he is facing the team he rooted for.
Now let's take a look at the Marlins defense, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. You've got Yelich in left. Ichiro Suzuki plays center field, and Giancarlo Stanton over right. Infield is Dietrich, Echeverria, Gordon, and Bohr. That's third to first. Real Muto is the catcher, and Kohler is on the mound. Yankees 34-28, and they lead the American League East by percentage points over the Tampa Bay Rays in a division that is certainly tightening up. Brett Gardner steps in. Tom Kohler's ready. Let's do it here in Miami, and the first pitch is a strike, and we're underway. C.B. Buckner's the home plate umpire. Gabe Morales at first. The crew chief, Dale Scott, is at second, and Lance Barrett is over at third. And there's another strike to Gardner. Yankees might have to do their damage at the top of the lineup without a DH and with Tanaka hitting. The bottom 4 batters in the lineup are certainly not scary. You look at their average, and then you even throw in Garrett Jones, who hasn't played much this year. So after Teixeira, you don't have a lot of things that are going to scare Kohler. Swing and a miss. Gardner down on strikes.
It's that big curveball from Tom Kohler. Getting ahead. Got ahead of Gardner. Well, Ellsbury missed that 1-2 combination with Ellsbury down. Big. That's a 12-6 curveball. Nice pitch.
Now here's Chase Headley against Kohler. Grounded foul. Yankees the first base dugout here at Marlins Park, and the Marlins are in the third base dugout. Oh, 0-2. Dietrich well off the line at third for Headley. 94-mile-an-hour fastball inside. Since interleague play began, the Yankees 86-76 in National League parks. This year they're 0-2, and that was in Washington, D.C.
I know it'll be a debate for a while at least, but it seems like there's a little bit of an undertow, Michael, that what makes more sense is that every league other than here and one of the leagues in Japan has a pitcher hit.
Well, we had Rob Manfred in the booth the other day, and there doesn't seem to be a chance that it's going to change. Well, the union will not give up the DH, and the National League owners don't want to add the DH.
Yeah, and I think it's the fact that we talk about it is also interesting for baseball. But for every Adam Wainwright or years ago when Chim-Ming Wang got hurt in Houston, you're investing a lot in these pitchers. And the whole PA thing, I don't buy that. High payrolls are in the American National League as well. Just look at the Dodgers. They don't have a DH.
3-2. Line drive. Caught by Echeverria. What a play. Taking a base hit away from Headley. Wow.
Wow, that's par for the course, really. Up the middle for the Marlins. Danny Echeverria. A full outstretched glove. You talk about athleticism. That is a great play. And here in Marlins, Miami, maybe you don't know enough about Ichiro, but he's making plays like that all year, even since he got called up with Toronto. Heck of a play. Watch this here. He's got slight pull. Headley staying on it. Beautiful.
There's Brian McCann. Shift is on as the third baseman Dietrich moves to the right side of the infield. The first pitch is a strike. Just underway here in Miami. Thanks for joining us. Marlins against the Yankees. They'll play 4 games in a row, 2 in Miami and 2 at Yankee Stadium Wednesday and Thursday. Grounded to short right field. D. Gordon over to Bohr, and the Yankees are retired 1-2-3 in the first. Yankees nothing, and the Marlins come to bat. We'll take a look at the Marlins starting lineup, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. D. Gordon with 92 hits. The second baseman leads off. Batting second and playing center field, Ichiro Suzuki. Christian Yelich, the left fielder, will bat third. Cleaning up the right fielder, Giancarlo Stanton. Justin Bour's at first base, he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, it's JT Realmuto. Derek Dietrich, the third baseman, bats seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Adeiny Hechavarria. Tom Kohler, the pitcher, will bat ninth.
Ichiro Tanaka on the mound, be making his 7th start of the season. Good numbers coming back from the DL. His last 2 starts were excellent, 7 innings and respectively against the Nats and Seattle. You see that low ERA. Let's take a look at the pitcher's scout report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Whitey Ford, well, you got to go back then. He's the first Yankee pitcher to win at least 17 of his first 26 starts. Last one to do that was Whitey Ford, 18-2 over those 26 starts back in the 50s. Showing swing and miss stuff. I mentioned about how good he was. 13 of his pitches in his last start was swing and miss. There's a foul ball. And splitter nasty. Ichiro Tanaka every pitcher pitches off his fastball, but his split finger, especially coming back from the disabled list, has been almost unhittable. He throws his split finger 26% of the time. This year, the batting average against is 121. Very good.
D. Gordon at .354 batting average, which is second in the National League to Paul Goldschmidt of the Diamondbacks. Right back to Tanaka. One away. Let's look at the Yankee defense. It's brought to you by Kia. In the outfield, you've got Gardner, Mason Williams, and Garrett Jones. That's left to right. Infield, Headley, Gregorius, Drew, and Teixeira third to first. McCann behind the plate. Tanaka on the mound. Now they're saying that Carlos Beltran has a slight hamstring issue. He's available to pinch hit, and he'll probably play tomorrow. I think Carlos Beltran, the Yankees don't trust him that much in that big right field. It's a very big right field here at Marlins Park, and that's why Garrett Jones gets the start. Because what Girardi has been doing, he's been taking Beltran out of games late for defense because Beltran's an older player and doesn't cover as much ground as he used to. But Girardi said he did think he'd play tomorrow. Ichiro Suzuki picks up a base hit.
Well, that matchup right there, Michael, has been watched by many eyes in Japan. That's the first time Ichiro and Tanaka have ever faced each other. And these two men are very big deals back in Japan, and it's televised there live.
That's hit number 2883 here in the States for Ichiro. He's well over 4,000 combined with his hits in Japan. The Marlins are trying to take advantage of the fact that this game is televised back to Japan, because behind home plate in Japanese they have stenciled "Vote for Stanton and Gordon," as they are trying to raise the profile with the online voting for the All-Star game. Pitch inside to Yelich.
Yeah. You do that.
I think it also says, and as many Kansas City Royals as you want. And we'll get to that a little bit later on. A 1-0. Grounded to second. Drew goes to second for one. That's all they'll get for the second out. As we will get a look at Giancarlo Stanton. Tonight's Power Report furnished by Bob's. Everything's better with a Bobblehead. Find out why at mybobs.com. He leads the majors with 23 home runs, followed by Bryce Harper, and then 4 tied with 18. So in the first year of a big money contract, Stanton is paying off. And he doesn't just hit a lot of home runs, he hits them a long way. Hal said this ballpark plays big, but not for him.
Since he came on the scene, Michael, just so impressive. You stand next to him. He's a big man, strong, obviously, but this ballpark is tough to hit it out. And if you watch highlights, he's been hitting home runs 460, 470.
There's a base hit to left field. Cutting over is Gardner. Yelich moves to third. The throw comes into second as Stanton picks up a single. And it's runners on first and third with 2 outs.
You know, last year you see that cage on his helmet, Mike Fiers of the Milwaukee Brewers hit him in the face, gruesome looking. Took him a while to really feel comfortable. I guess on certain pitchers he doesn't always wear the mask. Here, a little fastball inside. Just, you know, when I think about this, Michael, and I know you've been around a long time, I see him when he hits hard line drives. I think of Dave Winfield, Dave Winfield's heyday. Just line drives with such velocity off the bat. Impressive player.
Here's Justin Bour. And Tanaka deals. 0-1.
Coming out, relaying the sign as to whether they're throwing through or not.
One and one on board. Bottom of the first inning, Yankees and the Marlins.
Justin Bour, young players getting a chance to play. Michael Morse is one of the big signs to come here and be the protection for Giancarlo Stanton. He's on the disabled list with a finger injury. Justin Bour, 5 home runs already.
Swing and a miss. Tanaka looks out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. He gets Bour to swing over the top. And we go to the second, 0-0. Royal Caribbean. The only way to Caribbean is with Royal Caribbean. One more game against the Marlins here in Miami, and that'll be on Yes tomorrow. Then 2 games against Miami at Yankee Stadium, both on Yes. Weekend series against the Tigers. Remember, Saturday is Old Timers Day. Our coverage will begin at 4 p.m. on Yes. The game's at night. And then they finish off the homestand with 3 against the Philadelphia Phillies before moving on for a 4-game set against the very surprising Houston Astros. Interesting 2 weeks coming up for the Yanks. And here's Mark Teixeira against Tom Kohler. 3 infielders on the right side for Teixeira. And the pitch is upstairs, 1-0. That one is drilled deep to right field. Foul ball.
Well, his batting average creeping up, 256. Teixeira, what a year he's had so far. The power numbers are there, but he's making the most of his hits. With the 52 hits, 30 are extra base hits, 17 of them home runs. Shape, healthy. See that after the long home run. And Teixeira, you miss inside. A pitcher misses inside. He's going to hit it hard and pull it somewhere. Those last 2 pitches, fastball away and then changeup.
High fly ball, deep right center. Going back, Ichiro looking up. See ya! A long home run for Teixeira. It's his 18th of the year. And the Yankees lead 1-0. Oh, did he club that one?
Really amazing. I just cited right before he hits a home run. Now 53 hits, 31 extra base hits with 18 home runs. He's making them count. Watch here. He pulled the one fastball earlier that was down the middle. That ball was running away from him. Watch how Teixeira got down to get that ball as it was sinking away from him. Strong man to hit that ball out here. Watch this ball go out quickly. Right center, left center, certainly center field. Hard to get out. That's an absolute poke. It's 392 in the gap.
Grounded foul by Garrett Jones.
That's cool. Camera shot right here. That's his path. You look at bat pass. I know, you know, people are out there in the hitting books. Ted Williams talks about the path of the angle of the pitcher, the 10-inch mound, how tall they are, to try to match the plane. And I'll tell you, Mark Teixeira, this year, he's got a home run swing, and it's generally slight uppercut. And when it connects, it goes a long way.
He's having an all-star season. He really is. A lot of question marks coming back from injury-plagued years because of that wrist. And he got himself in great shape. 18 homers and 48 runs batted in. And hitting 260 as well.
You know, I'm glad you said that, because often, you know, fans, they watch and you get frustrated and you want your guy to come through, and especially with salaries. I know people try to pin that on guys, but you know, players day in and day out, they're always dealing with something. And just because they're not on the DL, you know, there's nagging injuries.
Garrett Jones down looking, does not like the call.
Yeah, that's the big call. I know our own Paul O'Neill can't stand when a home plate umpire is trying to track the ball. CB Buckner, the home plate umpire's tracking the ball, and then he looks at the wrist. All a hitter wants is to defer to the umpire down the line. That'd be Lance Barrett. I don't know. What do you think, Mike? It looked like
he held. But are we sure he called it a swing? I think he called it a strike.
A strike?
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh my, that's.
Yeah, if we look at the replay, I think he called it a strike, not a swing. Well, Stephen Drew takes high. That's worse.
Yeah, that's worse, because that ball looked like a foot down and away. Let's see here. No, he's pointing. Look at Mikey.
Yeah, he's pointing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, CB could be a little inconsistent at times.
When CB's behind the plate, you're always going to have some drama. Count 2-1 now on Drew. Drew 3 hits and 12 at bats in Baltimore. The Yankees lost 2 of 3, but they did win yesterday to salvage the final game and stop their 3-game losing streak and snap the Orioles' 6-game winning streak. Fly ball right field. Stanton is there. Time now for the keys to the game, brought to you by Hyundai, and Al's going to tell you all you need to know.
Okay, Michael. Keep Stanton in the park. There's the big man. Since 2010, 177 home runs. He's third to Jose Bautista and Miguel Cabrera during that span. Make D. Gordon non-factor. Keep him off the bases. He leads all of baseball in hits. He's on a pace for 233, 22 stolen bases behind Billy Hamilton of the Reds. And Tanaka continues to shine. I mean, that's kind of basic. Just keep your number 4 power hitter from not keeping him in the park. The speedy guy.
There's a base hit for Gregorius.
Your table setter and D. Gordon. This is a good team, and they're starting to kind of figure it out, Michael. And mostly, you know, teams go through it, but injuries. Their rotation has been hurt. Matt Latos they thought they would have gotten more. Jared Kozar was on the DL. Henderson Alvarez, who was their opening day starter, is on the DL. They're waiting for Jose Fernandez to show up.
Now, you speak of Jose Fernandez, Al. He's in the booth next door. He's going to announce on Marlins TV when he's going to start next.
Really?
Yep, that's what Tommy Hutton told me. And he's there right now in uniform.
Huh. I'm going to say, well, he's had 2 rehab starts. I think it was 5, so
right.
He's got 3 more.
1-0 to Mason Williams. 2-0. And there he is. So they're going to get an exclusive, and we'll lean over and find out what he said.
Go ahead. We are right next to those folks. Tommy Hutton. Been doing a long time. Rich Waltz.
Broadcasted for the Yankees for a while on radio with Hank Greenwald, WABC Radio. That one is lined to right field. Stanton battles the lights and retires Mason Williams for the final out of the second. But the Yankees get on the board, and they get on the board with a long home run off the bat of Mark Teixeira, his 18th of the year. When it lands, the Yankees are up 1-0. Good catch. Bud Black fired by the Padres. Dave Roberts is the interim manager, and they are starting with a search for a new manager. And Dylan G designated for assignment by the Mets, and they have 7 days to trade him. If they don't, they can send him down to the minor leagues. He has no say over it. Okay. He doesn't have enough service time where he could declare himself a free agent. That whole Padres situation.
Yeah.
So Preller, the new GM, puts together this hodgepodge of players, makes a lot of eye-opening moves, and then when it doesn't gel, they blame Bud Black,
right?
Who's recognized a pretty good manager.
Oh yeah, good guy, good baseball guy.
Real Muto with a fly ball to right. Garrett Jones is there to put it away.
I don't know about hodgepodge, Michael.
Oh yeah, he got
James Shields, front end starter. You bring in a closer.
Well, they were all, but okay. So you brought people in. You had terrible infield defense. You didn't improve that. You guys that didn't really fit. Melvin Upton, you got him because you wanted to.
Well,
you wanted to get Quick Kimbrel, so you got a guy who makes a lot of money sitting on the bench.
Yeah. Okay. So if you break it down, but I would say that team has underperformed based on what you just mentioned of who's in that dugout and who's in that clubhouse. They're better than one game under 500.
And they're in a tough division.
Yeah, Dodgers are always going to put something out. You know, the Giants, reigning world champs, they're going to be good. Arizona's been better, scrappy.
And when you have a new GM, the manager he inherits is always hanging in the balance. The 0-1. 1-1 on Dietrich. Tanaka deals. 2-1.
Dietrich, the third baseman for the Marlins, just got called up 3 days ago from their AAA affiliate. Typical young hitter, similar looking to Christian Yelich.
Laced the other way. And a nice play by Gardner to cut it off. Dietrich is going for two. The throw, not in time, it gets by Drew, but backing up is Teixeira. A double by Dietrich.
I think that remotely surprised Derek Dietrich. You talk about the speed of Brett Gardner. There's a lot of ground to cover here. Gardner playing straight up. Dietrich slicing the ball down the left field line. Look what Brett Gardner to stop that ball. Took him another step or two just to slow down, to gather himself to make a strong throw. Great effort, made what looked like an easy double into an interesting play. Watch here, this fastball. Nope. Tanaka got behind, fastball up in the zone. Good hitting by Dietrich going the other way. Now he sees it. I got to bust this. This is normally an easy double.
Here's Echeverria. Oh, nice pick on the backhand by McCann. And the Yankees lead the majors in wild pitches.
Well, here's a nice play by Brian McCann. Watch here. This is slider going away. You know, they anticipate the break, but not a 58-footer in the left-handed batter's box. Nice job.
Well, we found out what Jose Fernandez told our colleagues over on Marlins TV. He is going to start the first game in the big leagues, coming back from Tommy John surgery on July 2nd against the Giants.
A couple weeks, right? So he's got about 3 starts. Yeah.
Fernandez getting ready by taking a little BP. This guy was one of the good young pitchers too. If he can come back,
oh gosh, Michael,
close to what he was, he's a special pitcher.
Well, blew his elbow out, Tommy John surgery. Wow, pretty good cut too. You talk about, the talk of the National League, young pitchers, and Matt Harvey and that young man right there, Jose Fernandez. 95 to 100 mile an hour fastball, great slider.
Line drive, left field. It's a base hit. Charging is Gardner. Here comes Dietrich. Here's the throw, cut off by Headley, and the game is tied at 1.
Danny Echeverria gets a ball up out over the plate. You see Gardner kind of honoring the amount of space here at Marlins Stadium. Back enough, makes a strong throw. Headley cutting the ball off, keeping the double play in order. That ball goes through it. Echeverria may have been at second base. I think it was the right call. Look at the pitch right down the middle. Good swing.
Here's Tom Kohler, the pitcher, with 1 out. He's going to be bunting. Bunt's foul. We've discussed this before, Al. You didn't hit for a number of years until you hit with the Mets. Is it scary up there?
I wasn't afraid because I know that these guys that pitch at this level are really good with their command. And as pathetic as I was, I realized the pitchers didn't want to come in on me. It was a waste of time. I couldn't hit. So the danger of hitting a guy like me, you got a base runner.
Right.
So honestly, the only time I ever felt afraid was in Arizona against Randy Johnson. He's throwing 95 to 100. He had that low slinging 3/4. I stood in the back of the box and I said, "Go ahead." Yeah, I did. And then thankfully I didn't have to bunt because that's the scary part. You got to keep your face in it. Tanaka tried to get a punch out here. I imagine he's going to still kind of bunt. Yep.
And he bunts foul, so that's a strikeout.
That's big right there. Even though it would have been 2 outs, runner at second base. But look, runner at second base, any kind of ball to the green grass out in the outfield is another run. As a pitcher, that's a component, Michael, of the National League. You don't really see it in the box score, but if there's one thing I did pretty well was that. Because I realized the importance of trying to advance a runner and let your hitters drive guys in.
Here's D. Gordon, grounded back to the mound in the first inning. Lined right at Headley to end the inning. But the Marlins tie the score, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Gordon's bid for a hit, ends up in the glove of Headley, and we go to the 3rd.
Park is brought to you by your Tri-State BMW Centers. The unique feature here at Marlins Park are the fish tanks, one towards the third baseline, one towards the first baseline. Each is about 450 gallons, and the tanks were designed with safety in mind for both spectators and the fish, of course. There's actually an 1.5-inch thick shatterproof glass coating on the outside to make sure that it can withstand the force of a baseball being thrown or ricocheting off a bat. And there's a little bit of a rumor that they actually had players in 2012 come out there and throw at the tank just to make sure that the fish weren't going to be injured and that water wasn't going to go all over the field. Also, there's a cover on the top of the fish tank to protect the fish. You don't get as great of a visual as you would, but they wanted to make sure that the fish themselves were protected. And they also went through a lot of other things, making sure they tried to calm down some of the vibrations you get at a ballpark with crowd noise, as well as people standing, jumping around to make sure that the fish were in an okay environment. So it's not very deep, just 36 inches deep, so you can't have very huge fish in there, but they did manage to get a lot of tropical, colorful fish in that tank.
Good job. They did a great job. This is a really nice ballpark.
It really is.
So Tanaka gets an at bat, puts the ball in play, gets thrown out at first, one away.
How cool is that, huh? Right there behind home plate. Oh, I think this place is beautiful.
Now this is Gabby Sanchez practicing trying to smash the glass, and didn't happen. I bet you could have done it in your young years, just by accident.
Just by how I
throwing
used to
to a
throw.
batter.
Reminds me of A.J. Burnett. Remember the old stadium when the car was driving around? That was about where he smashed the window in the car. No, this place is absolutely beautiful compared to the, where they played the football stadium.
Oh, what a play by Gordon. Take a base hit away from Gardner. A lot of line drives on both sides.
Oh, just a hot smash, played in the right spot, little ups. Strong defense. We're going to see it here in these 2 days. Well, actually 4 days. The Marlins come up to Yankee Stadium Wednesday and Thursday.
D. Gordon came over from the Dodgers. Dodgers are paying, I believe, all of his salary for him to hit .350 with the Marlins. Pretty close to all of his salary, other than what you're required to. Count 2-0 on Headley. Headley lined out a great play by Echeverria in the first inning. Tony Pena making friends. We mentioned A.J. Burnett at the old ballpark. Let's take a look at this. He's warming up. The car's coming by. He obviously aimed for it. Billy the Marlin did not like it.
Bad timing. I wish you could pull back that day if we remember where A.J. was in the game and how many runs he gave up. Looked pretty obvious.
Looped left field, backing up Dietrich, and he makes the play in foul territory for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the third. It's a 1-1 game on Pix 11. Yankees baseball is brought to you by Nissan. Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Leading off for the Marlins, former Yankee Ichiro Suzuki, as we take a look at South Beach. He had a hit, Ichiro did in the first inning, in a matchup that was zeroed in on by everybody in Japan, where this game is being televised live. Now, combined between Japan and the States, Ichiro has 4,161. Pete Rose 42.56 is the hit king, and Ty Cobb 41.91. He asked Pete Rose about that, though. He goes, really? Then why don't you count my minor league hits too? He said, it's what you do in the States. Those are the hits that count.
That's what Pete said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, that's true. I mean, they're two separate leagues, and the Japanese big leagues isn't the same, but to compare it to the minor leagues, I think that's unfair.
But he's just saying you should combine
every,
if you played in the Mexican League, then you should combine those hits too. He says it's just not fair. It's hits in the States. Grounded softly to second. Drew fields and has no play. So he inches closer to 3,000 at least with 28.84 now. He's 2 for 2 against Tanaka.
Well, Ichiro still has enough legs in all those hits that you just showed there. Many of them were of this kind. Slap the ball, especially to the left side. Once it ricocheted off of Tanaka, Stephen Drew realized just put it in your pocket. Ichiro still runs fast enough to beat that out.
Very well liked on this Marlins team. Keeps everybody loose, and you know what? He's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Hitting .292. Here's Christian Yelich.
Good fourth outfielder, Michael. And certainly, as you said, the guys like him. 137 at bats. The top guys are at 250, 260. So he's played 2/3 of the time, roughly.
He goes. And the ball fouled off. And he definitely wants to play next year, Al. Because there's no way he's getting to 3,000 this season. Especially playing a part-time role. Keeps himself in great shape. Always stretching. In the clubhouse, on the bus, on the planes. Always stretching.
41 years old.
0-2.
You look like that at 41.
Yeah, absolutely. That infield hit for Ichiro, Al.
Yeah.
The 76th infield hit by this Marlins team. Leads the majors.
I got to believe D. Gordon's somewhere pretty high on that list. His speed.
Now, in comparison, the Yankees have 39 infield hits, which is the second fewest in the majors. Now, of these 76 infield hits, D. Gordon has 25 of them.
Fighting to stay alive. Christian Yelich is getting a little bit hotter. There's a young kid, a Gold Glove last year. struggled mightily out of the beginning of this year. Starting to hit better. They rewarded him a big multi-year contract before his arbitration eligible season. They believe in him. Talked to Dan Jennings, the now general manager. Said sit downs with him, telling him how much they believe in this young man.
Up the middle, a base hit. Ichiro will stop at second. First and second, nobody out. Stanton coming up.
Yeah, anytime a hitter fights off the pitcher's pitch, that ball right through the wickets. Tanaka is just hard enough up the middle. Didi Gregorius couldn't get it.
Well, Giancarlo Stanton signed a 13-year, $325 million contract. That's the largest total value contract in major North American sports history. Kobe Bryant, 136 for 7 years. Calvin Johnson, 8 years, 132. Alex Ovechkin, 13 years, 124. Stanton sneers at that. But that is a cap sport. So here's Stanton, who singled to left in the first. I did stand next to Stanton today, Al. He's massive.
Is he?
He's like the size of a Rob Gronkowski of the Patriots. It's built like a tight end. Goes off speed.
That's a pitch right there for Tanaka to stay down and away. You gotta as a pitcher tease Stanton enough for him to think you may come inside. Then you throw this pitch here. This is a perfect location. Great spin, and watch the bottom drop out of it. It's a dangerous hitter. Do not let him beat you.
.93-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's that stand-up pitch. You try to nail it, of course, if you're Tanaka, because now you're in a better count. A 2-1 count would be a fastball count. Let's see if he goes back to that slider, which Stanton is susceptible to. Not as good on the slider, running down and away.
Hit sharply on one hop. There's one, and there's two. Gregorius, I think the ball caught him, and he starts a 6-4-3 double play.
That's a hot smash to Gregorius. But here, take a look at the pitch by pitch. Fastball away, and look, this guy can hit it out anywhere. That was the pitch right there. Get in your head as a hitter. Two-seamer in, just missed. And that slider, because of that two-seamer in, got Giancarlo Stanton off the barrel of the bat. That pitch was more middle of the plate. Not a great location, but in a fastball count, creates some doubt. Nice play by Didi Gregorius.
Here's Bohr. Check swing. He did not go.
Big mistake hitter, Justin Bohr, same thing. You got a 2-0 count, good fastball hitter. Not to say you give in and just automatically walk him, but make sure this is a pitcher's pitch.
Chop to first. Teixeira takes it himself. And Tanaka works out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left. Let's go to the fourth. 1-1. You can fill out your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at Yankees.com. Voting is exclusively online this year and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote up to 35 times for the best player you think at Yankees.com. The AL was updated today, Alan. Omar Infante, who's hitting .204 and has the lowest OPS of any regular player in baseball, has moved into the lead at second over Jose Altuve. And the only non-Royal is Mike Trout.
Is he in danger?
I'm sure there's a Royal closing in.
How do they do that? I guess now it's probably fun for them.
McCann tries to bunt, and he bunts to the left side, and it just misses third base. Now, a lot of lightheartedness about the voting, and we see how close this came to a hit. But MLB's at a crossroads with this, in my opinion, Al. I want to see what you say.
Okay.
This game counts. You decide World Series home field advantage. Now, would you let the fans make out a Game 7 lineup of the World Series? The fans, if you want to get them involved, they should be part of the process where you have the players and the managers that each has a third. But for a game that counts out, it can't be a popularity contest. It can't. Now, a lot of those Royals deserve to be in the starting lineup. But when you vote in Omar Infante, then it becomes a joke.
Yeah. Well, I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't compare it to a Game 7 lineup. I know what you're saying. It does matter. Game 1 and 2, 6 and 7. There is a factor to having that extra game. Certainly the last 2 games of a World Series. So it is important. I'm not going to diminish that. I think you're onto something. I think if this gets to where, let's just, this year it's Kansas City, next year it's Houston, one year it's another team, they'll have to start looking into it. If it is a rampant epidemic of fan bases getting excited to just vote their players in, you can weight the votes. Have the fans have a certain percentage, the players, front office, coaches, general manager, radio announcers, I don't know.
McCann goes down on strikes. Judge already talked about the situation, and here's a Yankee manager.
I've often thought that, if it counts for something, it should be the managers and the general managers picking who the starters are, based on the years that guys are having. But it's a fan vote, and that's the way we want it.
And you'd love to have the fans involved. The fans deserve to be involved in some way. So then take home field advantage off the All-Star game. Fly ball, left field, and out of play. If it's an exhibition, then let the fans do it. Let them have fun. But if it means something, it's got to be weighted somehow.
All right, so let me ask you this. Now that has this got your craw because of the voting? Because this has been a topic of conversation for how many years now that it matters?
I never liked that. Essentially, an exhibition game could decide that. But then Major League Baseball's argument, Al, which is a good one, was better than alternating it each year. That's a bad way to decide home field advantage. And this is the first year that there's not a paper ballot in addition to the online voting. This is all online voting. Now this happened in the late 50s with the Cincinnati Reds, and the commissioner of baseball overturned the vote. They had all the Reds starting. They said this can't happen. So we'll see if Rob Manfred steps in. Three-two. Teixeira wraps one into center field, and Ichiro's there for the second out. The final thing about this in the NFL, Al, the fans have a third of the vote, the coaches have a third of the vote, and the players have a third of the vote for the Pro Bowl.
That doesn't matter.
And that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Here's Garrett Jones. And you know what else might happen? Let's say if all 8 hold their lead. It'd be difficult to get a representative from each team. There's a ground ball to third. Dietrich. gets Jones, and the Yankees go down in order against Kohler. 1, 2, 3. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's a 1-1 game on Pix 11. Suki, Corey, and the gang from 5 to 9 on the Pix 11 Morning News, where every story hits home. They're probably preparing that show right now.
Oh, yeah.
11 o'clock. Yankee bullpen watching. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, it's 1-1. And Real Muto leads off against Tanaka. Tanaka, 6 hits allowed. The first 12 batters. That's the most hits allowed in a game this season for Masahiro.
Well, he's been pounding the zone pretty much. He's only had 1 3-ball count. That was the Derek Dietrich, his first at bat, when Dietrich hit a double the opposite way.
Three and 0. Real Muto with a fly ball to right in the second. Dietrich is on deck. There's a strike. Tonight's high-speed pitch comes from Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. That was 93 miles an hour. The 3-1 goes with a breaking ball for strike 3 and 2.
A lot of confidence in that. 3-1 count. Real Muto. What young hitter isn't a fastball hitter? Pulls the string, little slider, gets into a good count here. 3-2. See if he throws it again. Yep.
It comes back from 3-0 to get a strikeout.
That's a lot of confidence. You don't want to get behind a 3-0 count and lead off a batter in a game like this, but that 3-1 slider setting up that pitch right there creates a huge amount of doubt in a hitter's mind. You see it off the hand right here. That is a slider spin, and it just continues to go down and away. Good pitch.
Here's Dietrich, who doubled and scored in the second inning. Double was to left field. Three infielders on the right side for Dietrich. First pitch inside.
And the outfield to go other way as he did in his first at bat, and then pull on the infield. That's very typical of a lot of major league hitters.
Grounded to Drew. And he gets Dietrich. Now Martin Prado, the former Yankee, is a member of the Marlins, and he's hurt with a right shoulder sprain. He's listed as day-to-day. Really wanted to play, but they're being a little bit cautious.
He's running around first base, kind of collided with the first baseman during the Colorado series and fell on it. Said it's sprained, and I talked to him about it. He said it. Not sure whether they'll put him on a DL or not, but it's at least a week.
That one is looped out on the line to Drew as Echeverria makes the final out. Marlins go down in order against Tanaka. We go to the fifth. One of the hottest collectibles of the season is Thurman Munson Bobblehead Night, the second in the 2015 collectible series presented by AT&T. The first 18,000 guests in attendance. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. They have a bobblehead museum here at the stadium. A lot of Yankees there. A couple of Lou Gehrig's, got a Reggie Jackson, Tino, and Derek, and Matsui.
Oh.
Have an earlier version of Thurman. Paul O'Neill. Paul, will you be working this weekend? Yeah, he will.
Look at that. That's pretty cool.
You ever have a bobblehead of yourself?
Yeah.
Who did it? Which team?
Mets.
Yeah? You have any at home?
Uh-huh.
About 150?
No.
Living room? Does it look like you?
No.
You can't recreate those looks. You just can't. Not plastic.
Not sure how that really is coming out of your.
Stephen Drew takes outside one. It's a compliment.
Yeah, no, it's good. Oh, that's fun. All that stuff. I know the players enjoy it.
Drew with a fly ball to left. Yelich. One away.
How about you, Mike? Talking about bobbleheads, you got one?
Well, the Yankees looked into it, but they said there's not enough plastic in the universe to make the head. So.
First of all, I think it's ceramic. I don't think it's. Maybe it is plastic now. But that is true because you got a big head.
I have a long face. I don't have a big head.
You got like a size 8.
No, I don't. I have a 7 3/8. I bet your head might be bigger than mine.
If you're 7 3/8, I'm definitely bigger.
What size is
7.5.
Yeah, I'm 7 3/8, 7.5 according to how long my hair is.
So what's the whole big deal?
Because it's a long face and a big forehead. It's a 5 head. That one is hit past Bohr and down the right field line off the bat of Gregorius. He will go to second, and he's going to stop right there. We'll see if they score that. It was a scalded baseball, but one I'm sure that Bohr said he should make the play.
Well, if it goes between the wickets, it's got to be an error. That's a 1-2 hopper. I'm giving that an error. It didn't touch him, I don't believe. It was hit hard. This is the major leagues, folks.
Now, didn't go through the wickets, though.
Yeah, I know. That might have saved him.
See how they score it. However they score it, Gregorius is at second. And that brings up Mason Williams. On the scoreboard, they give him a hit. Tom Kohler must love that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a hard hit ball, but, you know, when it's right there and your fielder's squared up, it just looked like he whiffed it. But good for Didi Gregorius. Well, let's take a look here. Hot smash. Okay, he's ready. Justin Bohr. 1, 2, 3 hopper. I got the pitcher part of me, Mike.
See, but you didn't have to worry about that. You had John Olerud over there.
Oh, Johnny O was great.
He just made the play.
Oh, boy, he was so good.
The 0-2 to Mason Williams inside.
And Don Mattingly when I first broke into the big leagues. How cool was that?
Who was your first baseman with the Marlins?
Jeff Conine. And then they traded for Darren Dalton for the playoff stretch drive and eventually world champs in '97. Darren Dalton played a lot of first and catcher.
But neither one of them, the combination of Mattingly and Hernandez.
No.
Well, he gets another try. This one a little bit easier. They're 2 away as Gregorius moves to third. Al did play for the Marlins.
Yay!
Actually threw a no-hitter here. And there it is.
Very anticlimactic there, huh?
Little hug with Charles Johnson.
You know, it was 11-0, and it was really, you know, it was a matter as to whether I give up a hit or not. You know, it wasn't really a nail-biting game. There we are, 1997. Yeah. 96.
Pretty cool. High leg kick. Can you hold your leg up there like that, man?
I think so.
Yeah.
See here. You know what? It's my left hip that hurts. Yeah, look at that. Oh, nice. It's good. Oh, maybe not.
Tanaka swings and misses.
Swing.
There you go.
Look at that.
That's nice.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
I know you rode your bike for an hour today.
How do you know that?
I have my scouts.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I'm a little bit afraid. I don't know how you know that.
Who was in the gym that saw you?
Joe Girardi.
That's my scout.
He didn't say hello.
He told me you were working out.
Missed outside. Now, Yankee pitchers. The last hit was from Chase Whitley. That was off Jacob deGrom in 2014. Last double, Andy Pettit in 2009 here against the Marlins. Last triple, Mel Stottlemyre, 1972 against Goose Gossage. The last home run, Lindy McDaniel in 1972 off of Mickey Lolich. Now, Tanaka actually picked up a hit last year, Al.
Well, let's see. I'll tell you what, a little emergency hacks. Boom. Up the middle. Derek Jeter. All excited about Tanaka's first hit.
He can use one here to give himself the lead. It's all fun and games with pitchers hitting, but this is a big spot. You have a runner at third base and 2 outs. Strike 3. Tanaka down looking. Wow, he didn't really challenge him. He threw a breaking ball. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. 4.5. We're halfway through. It's a 1-1 game. Brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy more shows on more screens. Time Warner Cable, enjoy better. And by Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, in theaters everywhere July 24th. Saw a trailer for this movie. It looks unbelievable.
Really?
Yep.
Southpaw. The pitcher?
No, he's a boxer.
Oh, okay.
And I went to see Entourage on Saturday because it was an off day in Baltimore, and that was one of the trailers.
How was the Entourage?
It was good.
Where it's going?
It. Yeah, if you like the show, you're going to like the movie.
All right.
1-1 game as we go to the bottom of the 5th. So Kohler leads off. And a strike. Nub up the first baseline. It stays fair. And Teixeira can't pick it up, so Kohler reaches. Teixeira tried to tag him all in one motion, never had the ball.
We're going to get a replay on this, but looked like Teixeira pulled his head up, the proverbial look up before you actually have it in your glove. This is a pretty amazing hit. Look at the cue ball, English on that ball, spin it back. Look at that, and then stays fair. Teixeira right about here. Hurry up, pick it up. Plus, you got an out. Just got to make sure you get it in the glove. Never picked it up. Giving that an error to Teixeira. Watch this. Had spinning. I could bet the spin on that ball is the reason why he wasn't able to get it. Just assumed it would go in the glove. That ball was spinning like a top.
Amazingly, Al, Teixeira had gone 109 games without an error. And then made an error on Friday, and now makes an error here on this one.
Wow. It's amazing, huh? Ball kept spinning. Oh. Gold Glover, great defender, and then you boot it.
You know, Jack Curry back in our studios, Al, helping me out with some stuff. You mentioned Tanaka struck out looking to end the top of the 5th. In 7 seasons in Japan, Tanaka hit .081. In your career, would you say you were higher or lower than .081? No, my friend, you hit .085.
Wow. I was looking at the .053 from Kohler. I said, that's about what I was.
Let's see if they get 2. There's 1. On to first. Not in time, but a nice scoop by Teixeira.
Yeah, that double play would have had to be hit harder and just perfect transfer. D. Gordon, second in National League and stolen bases behind Billy Hamilton, Cincinnati Reds. I think he broke his bat, too. You see where Chase Headley, always respecting and honoring the fact that he made bunt. It's just the speed of D. Gordon. Good play. Deliberate throw. Hustle now. Easily beaten it.
No, we didn't get a chance to ask you this, Al. What did you think of Kohler throwing Tanaka breaking ball? I mean, is there kind of an unwritten rule there?
No, heck no. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I never thought that. I had a chance to maybe get my only 3 strikeouts was against the pitcher. Look, you know, when we used to hit, Michael, what you watch batting practice, you get fastballs. Right. You get the BP thrower. He's standing 45 feet away, and he's trying to throw pretty hard. Even though pitchers are pathetic, most of them aren't very good hitters, you can hit a fastball. You're not seeing curveballs and sliders and splits. You have a chance to punch a pitcher out, throw it. That's the way I thought.
Especially with a runner at third.
Well, runner at third base, absolutely.
There's a strike to Ichiro.
It's funny you mentioned that because here we are in Miami. The first year of interleague play in 1997, I'm pitching against David Cohn. And I think he got a base hit off me. And the second at bat, I threw him like a heater, and then like 3 curveballs struck him out. He's looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, are you kidding me? It might be my only strikeout. I don't care about that.
But he thought it wasn't cool, right?
Yeah, he thought, like, come on now, you know, throw it in there.
He still holds it against you. He tells
Does
me
he?
that,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Because I know when we've done a game together, he's mentioned
kind of cold, right?
No cold.
No, he's
yeah,
kind of chilly to you.
Very chilly. Like, you're funny.
1-1, bottom of the 5th inning. D. Gordon with 22 stolen bases is at first. Ichiro's at the plate.
Nice job right there. Love it. Right-hander, you got a great runner in Gordon. Tanaka, hold the ball. You'll see often, even at the major league level, a pitcher get in such a rhythm of come set, get your sign, 1-1000, 2-1000, go. He held the ball long enough and absolutely disrupted the comfort of a very good base runner, D. Gordon. Good job by Tanaka. Now come up real quick. You could really mess up D. Gordon. Come up, no, he's waiting. Best velocity of the night. Masahiro Tanaka hit 94 miles an hour on the radar gun. Facing the legend Ichiro Suzuki. I'm sure Tanaka looked up to him as a kid, watching him in Japan before he came over to the United States. It's got to be a big thrill for him. Oh, he's a big leaguer. And
absolutely.
Makes a lot of money, but he's facing a legend.
And he was teammates with him last year. The 1-2. Strike 3. Ichiro down looking.
95, Michael. You don't think he
dialed it up? Yep.
Wow. That is crispy right here. Fastball away. Doesn't matter. Here it is. Hit it.